going on, fam? How we doing? Happy Friday. Back again. Back again. Back again, back again, back again, back again. There we go. That's lit, right? Yeah. There we go. I like that. There we go. That's more like it, right? Been a week. Definitely been a week. Been one fucked up week for the United States, that's for sure. How's everyone else doing? How's your week been? Now, don't mind me. I'm just taking care of some shit in Pokemon and sleep real quick, but we'll get to the fun stuff. But I want to hear from you folks. How we doing? How's everyone in the chat? Who's here? Who's saying hi? Who wants to talk some nerd shit? Huh? Chime in, motherfuckers. How we doing, huh? How we doing? How's it going, eh? Talk to me, nerds. Holy shit. Let's see who we got here. Mega Swiper, you were definitely here before everyone else. We got Braden, how you doing? Good to see you. Taladia, good chatting with you. How you doing, bro? Happy Friday indeed. What a weekend had. What a week we have had. I agree there, especially if you're in the United States, which I know you're not, Taladia. I'm doing good. Glad to see you're doing good. Did you see that WB is going to be at CCXP, and we all know what they're going to bring, a Superman trailer? I mean, yeah, that seems to be the consensus, right? Like there is, in fact, possibly going to be maybe a Superman trailer there at CCXP. I think, what is it? D23 Brazil's happening right now or some shit like that, right? I don't fucking know. I'm not covering that crap. I got other shit to do with my time. But yeah, CCXP. Apparently WB is going to be there. If they are, cool. Probably definitely show off. I'm guessing that's where they're going to show off the big first trailer for, you know, Superman. Superman, you don't say. Superman. Well, speaking of Superman, since it's kind of a topic of conversation, this is something I saw, I think yesterday, today. It'd be Mr. Nicholas Hoult on Lex Luthor and Superman. Now, I'm going to read this quote here. It's from comicbookmovie.com, but it is yanked from the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast hosted by one Josh Horowitz. For anyone who doesn't know, Josh Horowitz is the one who moderated the Creature Commandos panel at New York Comic Con. He's also a very prominent podcaster in his own right, and he's had many, many top profile people on his show, like Jonathan Nolan, Zack Snyder, Christopher Nolan, I believe, as well, and Nicholas Hoult very recently, Tom Hanks. Like he's just a really solid dude, and he knows how to ask all the right questions in the right ways. That man is just everything I could possibly aspire to be like, except for the fact that I curse a fuck ton more than he does, and I totally I own that. I just have a sailor's mouth, and Josh Horowitz is far more professional than I could ever aim to be. Anyway, so Nicholas Hoult was on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, as I mentioned. For anyone who's living under a rock and isn't following the Superman movie, Nicholas Hoult is playing Lex Luthor, but apparently he did suit up for the role of Superman. This was rumored and talked about from some time before he did get the role of Lex Luthor. But here's the quote here. As it's funny, because when I first read the script, I remember reading it, there was a little inkling part of me that was like, oh, I think you would have fun playing Lex, the British actor had recalled. And I kind of didn't say anything. And then when James Gunn called me to play Lex, I did kind of a cackle, I think is how I described it. I didn't say anything. I think he said, we want you to play Lex. And I just laughed because I think there was something in my instinct when I first read the script where I was like, I think that's more what I should be doing in this story. And Holt also revealed that Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo's Lex Luthor Man of Steel was a story that he really resonated with while doing research. And he also did talk about in the same podcast about losing out in the role of Batman to Robert Pattinson. He talked about how James Gunn and Peter Safran also wanted him in the DC universe in any aspect whatsoever, which is cool. But ultimately just kind of landing on the idea of him being Lex Luthor, which for me personally, I mean, I like Superman. I think Superman's a great character. I think Lex Luthor is just as good as an antagonist. Your heroes are only as good as their antagonists. And as much as I think that the Lex Luthor well has been on to more times than I can count. I think that's a bad thing. So to me, when it comes to Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor, I like Nicholas Holt. I think Nicholas Holt's a great actor. I think he's going to do something kind of unique with the character, with something for this time around. I'm not going in expecting him to be like Jesse Eisenberg or like Michael Cudlitz. I just hope that there is no shouting of Miss Tessmacher! I don't need that again. I really do not need that in a Superman movie. We've had that before, and I feel like that's a little too hammy and a little too goofy. And I feel like even James Gunn has even kind of acknowledged that. He said, like, I don't remember where, but he basically alluded to the idea that Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor was just a little too on the goofy side, even for him, which is kind of surprising if I'm being brutally honest. But I hope that if Lex Luthor is in this movie, which he is, I guess what I'm saying is, I hope you lean more towards the serious and less on the camp. But that's just me. Now, that this version of Lex Luthor is, as he mentioned, inspired by the Lee Bermejo and Brian Azzarello story, Lex Luthor Man of Steel, that's definitely something I have to add to my library, to my stack, to my to-read list. That is something I have not read. I've read a fair few Superman books. That is not one of them, unfortunately, but I will add it to the inevitable growing list of shit I need to read. Let's see. Braden here says, D23 is happening today, but tomorrow is going to be the Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios panel. Oh, okay. Okay. We got Mwamba85DT. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. But Marvel and Lucasfilm have panels tomorrow. I did not know this. Like I said, I'm not really following D23 Brazil. Maybe I should be. But no, this is news to me, so thank you for the update. I appreciate that. I'd have to imagine that Lucasfilm might show off something for Mando and Grogu, maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. I don't even know what they could show. Actually, you know what? They probably will show some of Skeleton Crew, now that I really think about it. Probably Skeleton Crew. Anything animated they may or may not have in the pipeline, I don't know. But as far as Marvel's concerned, shit, I would wager probably something from, maybe it's a mix of things. Maybe it's a mix of TV and the movie side, because Captain America comes out just in a couple of months. Wow, it's hard to believe that's the case. Captain America Brave New World comes out in like 3 months. That's wild. And then after that is, of course, Thunderbolts. But they've got like a whole slate of shit coming out next year between, Captain America, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Daredevil, Thunderbolts, Marvel Zombies, Wonder Man, Fantastic Four. I wonder if they'll show anything from Fantastic Four. That'd be cool, but I'm not banking on it. Have you read Absolute Superman? I have not. I am actually waiting on my next haul from comics. I'm waiting on a package that will have Absolute Batman #2, Absolute Superman #1, and Absolute Wonder Woman #1 coming, hopefully sometime in the next week or two. So I'll be a little delayed on my reading of those books, even though there are some things that I am aware of in both Absolute Superman and Absolute Wonder Woman. But yeah, I have not had the chance to read it yet, but I assure you I will. And it's going to be cool. I mean, I think the art looks great. I think Jason Aaron's a really good pick for that book. And I'm excited to see where that story goes, because I have seen a few panels from it. And I know a couple things about it. Like, they've kind of reimagined how how people on Krypton are like segregated by class, and how this shield is actually representative of people of the lower class, not the higher class in the Absolute universe. So I think that's a nice twist on things. But I have not read it yet in full, and I will when I get the chance. And believe me, I will have all 3 of those books ready and waiting to just store away and keep for keeping sake. And I actually have 2 copies of Absolute Batman, and the reason that is because I am going to for sure get my first printing of Absolute Batman signed by Scott Snyder and hopefully Nick Dragata. I'm going to get that book signed by both of them, and then I'm going to frame it, and then I'm going to probably get it graded, and then I am never going to fucking touch it ever again. because one day that book might be worth some money. And if I ever have any offspring, although in the USA that seems a little less likely for me now, considering who just took office, but regardless of those circumstances, in the event I ever have any offspring and they decide to go to college, I'll sell that damn book because hopefully it'll be worth a lot of money. Anyway, back on the point. Braden, no, I will get to Absolute Superman, and when I do, we will have a conversation about it here, but I would also just like to add that Absolute Superman and Absolute Wonder Woman, I'm only getting the issue number 1s of just to keep, just so I can have them. Maybe if they are good, I will continue getting them on a monthly basis, because I'm already for sure getting Absolute Batman on a monthly basis. That is definitely happening. Like I have made arrangements to get that book monthly. So yeah, I will let you guys know when I see Absolute Superman. And we got RJ in the chat. How's it going, RJ? Good to see you, man. Hope you're having a great Friday. Anyway, since we're on the DC train, let's just go ahead and keep it in-house. Oh, wait, real quick, before we head to DC. Mwambut85D, I heard a rumor that in Fantastic Four First Steps, John Malkovich is playing the Red Ghost, so we could see the Red Ghost and Super Apes in the MCU. Don't know. I have no idea. This is news to me. If this is something that's making the rounds on Twitter, I wouldn't know, because I'm not on Twitter. So I'm kind of hoping he plays Franklin Richards. No, not Franklin Richards. Franklin Storm. That's who I hope that John Malkovich is playing. I hope to God that John Malkovich is Sue and Johnny's dad. That's who I'm hoping he is. Braden says, Jeff Snyder needs to shut the fuck up. That dude just pisses me off. When he does any of those scoops, I'm just like, bullshit. It's funny when James Gunn debunks something that he has scooped. Well, it's funny you mention that, Braden, because James Gunn has been on a debunking spree. So here's just something that I saw the other day that I'm going to pull up. Actually, I need to pull up the picture first, but yes. James Gunn has been on a bit of a debunking spree, definitely. And it's been quite funny. Been hilarious, actually. There's the first one right there. Let's go ahead and make this full screen on this. There we go. And then we share screen. Window. There we go. Bam. Okay. So, check this out, guys. So James Gunn apparently there's some fake emails going around, and this is very clearly fake. James Gunn official contact at gmail.com. Nobody. I repeat, nobody who uses their fucking has that kind of name for a Gmail account. That's a clear red flag right there. Definitely. And James Gunn says, not me, stay blessed, stay real. And then someone else asks, it is real, James Gunn. And then there's a piece here, I don't know from what fucking, it says right here, this account in Instagram, Gunverse. A live-action Justice League New Frontier film written and directed by DC Studios CEO James Gunn is reportedly in development. James Gunn replies, nope, sorry, no truth whatsoever. However, he does go on to say that that said, I love New Frontier, and its magical alternate history is a big influence on DC Studios. Now, I bet you're all wondering, what does that mean exactly? What does the alternative history angle mean? Well, I guess it really just means that there are things that happened in the DC universe that coincide with possible real events that happen in our world, but they happen with a bit of a twist, including DC characters, i.e., I'm guessing by the trailer for Creature Commandos, we're going to get a little bit of World War II backstory and how that factors into G.I. Robot's story. I don't know that for fact, although I will say I do know some things about Creature Commandos, and a lot of people are going to flip their fucking shit when they see it, but I'm not at liberty to disclose what said things are. But I will just say that there are things in that show that people are going to lose their minds over, and I can't wait. So either way, back to the Frontier stuff and the DC history stuff. I feel like New Frontier being an influence on the universe doesn't at all shock me. I mean, James Gunn is a historian of comics in his own right. He's got a very wide strike zone in terms of like his comic book knowledge. I mean, I see him posting about comic book stuff all the time, and I'm just like, dude, you fucking pull shit out of the vault. Good for you. Anyway. RJ asks, any thoughts on Mark Waid saying that he no longer feels the urge to write superhero stories since he no longer believes in the goodness in his fellow Americans after this past week? I mean, that's kind of unfortunate, but I can understand where his head is at. I mean, look at what happened with our election, right? Like, look at what happened with who we decided. Not me, I didn't vote for that big orange dumbass, but collectively the American people decided to put a, 2-time impeached 34 count felon into office, not giving a flying fuck about what consequences come with that. So, and if this was on Twitter, again, it really wouldn't surprise me, because again, I'm not there. I don't know if this was on any other social platform because I haven't seen it. But if Mark Waid doesn't feel like writing superheroes anymore because he's lost, the belief that American people are just inherently not good, I don't really blame him. Like, if I was in his position, I can sympathize. I can truly sympathize, because you write these characters to inspire people, and if nobody's being inspired because well, not we, but the collective we, that is, the United States of America en masse, the bigots, the idiots, the dumb shits that put that fucking moron into office, if I was Mark Waid, yeah, I would feel a little defeated. I would feel a little perturbed. I would feel just not happy about the way things went. I definitely understand where he's coming from. And you know what? More power to him. If he stops writing, that's on him. And I don't mean that in like a shitty way, but like, if he wants to give this shit up because of real world circumstances, I honestly don't blame him one bit at all. Because America showed their true colors this past Tuesday, and it sucked. It really sucked. And it would suck the life out of anyone and anything creatively if it matters that much in terms of how they craft their storytelling. I feel like if this is the case for Mark Waid, chances are he's probably like, I'm done. I don't want nothing to do with it. Sounds like he feels like he's going to retire from writing superhero stories, but feels the same way going forward. He said the quality of his work may decline. I mean, that's what happens. Like, when you lose your confidence and when you lose your drive, your whole, creative and not integrity, but your whole creative like force just dwindles, like it sucks. It really sucks, because Mark Waid is a good writer. I like a lot of what Mark Waid's done. I may not agree with him on certain things, but on the whole, like, he's one of the best writers in the modern age. Like, Mark Waid has written some really excellent shit. Like, his Batman Superman stuff at DC Current, like his current Batman Superman book, fucking phenomenal. His Flash run, legendary, absolutely legendary. And then you got fucking Kingdom Come. Come on, this is fucking Mark Waid. But hey, if he feels like this is the end of the road, that's his call. If he wants to retire, I'd say he probably went out on a pretty strong note, personally. I think I might buy the Creature Commandos graphic novel tomorrow, or Alan Moore's Swamp Thing tomorrow. See, there you go. I'm not sure which one I would buy of the two. Probably Alan Moore's Swamp Thing over the two, to be brutally honest. I got into it with a moron on X saying COVID never happened and they have nothing wrong during January 6th. And I'm like, what a jackass. Dude, I had someone in my mentions on Threads just fucking argue with me about dumb shit pertaining to Donald Trump and how, like, he was making fun of my selfie post. It was really strange. Like, it's really strange how that other side kind of operates online. They like talk a whole lot of shit, and then they act like you're the one talking all the shit. And it's just like, you people legitimately live in like a delusional reality, and it's kind of sad. I mean, it's almost like, I'm not going to say like Snyder Cut fandom sad, because that's a whole other different conversation, but there are some Looney Tunes in that fandom. I'd probably lean more towards like Star Wars fandom delusional, because there are Star Wars fans who are just so fucking like blah 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 blah, this is the only thing that exists to me, anything else is garbage, blah 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 blah. Very evocative of a lot of Star Wars fans, if I'm being brutally honest. Hey kiddo, hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. I know you had a like 3-minute long fucking voice message in Discord, and I'm just still curious of who gave you all the sugar, but good to see you, man. Anyway, yes, James Gunn has been on a fucking debunking spree. And the other thing he debunked, which I personally had a chuckle at, Let's get to this. You all know what's coming. You all know exactly what's coming. Anyone who knows me knows exactly what's coming. Okay, here we go. Here we fucking go. All right. Where is it? Because this was like yesterday. Yeah, here we go. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So, DC Film News, great source for anything DC related. My only qualm, if you could even consider it a qualm, if anyone from DC Film News is listening or paying attention, or if you catch this in the aftermath, if you catch this in the after show, if you catch this after the stream, catch me after it's live, I would just posit that maybe stop trying to get information out of Jeff Snyder, or better yet, stop posting information from Jeff Snyder, because chances are it's probably bullshit. And that said, here we go. Barry Keoghan's Joker series is rumored to be in the works. The series will be set between the Batman 2 and the Batman 3. It's unclear whether the series is being developed for HBO or Max. Keoghan is set to briefly return in the Batman 2. And this is all via, of course, the one and only N. Snyder, Jeff Snyder. Well, funny thing about that, James Gunn, bless his heart, about an hour ago, I saw this and I gave a good laugh. Turned on Threads and everyone is asking me about this. No, there is absolutely no truth to this. A Joker series is not being discussed, nor has even come up at this time. Sorry. In parentheses, don't attack Multiverse Nation. They're just one of the many places reporting this. P.S. Hi, new Threads people. Okay. Well, problem number one with this news was people decided to.
Maybe the problem is the fuck puppet delivering.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. The problem every single time is the fuck puppet delivering this shit. But, once again, the man has been proven wrong. Wrong. There's been no legitimacy to the Jurassic League movie that he said is happening. He did not get any of the Lanterns castings at all right whatsoever. Basically, anything DC related within the last 6 months that Jeff Snyder has peddled has been absolute, total, untrue bullshit. The man is a con man. He is almost like the Donald Trump of the news industry. He looks like a disheveled rat, and he was even asking women on Twitter to go on dates with him. This man is pathetic and sad and gross in a number of different ways. And Jeff, if you're watching, hey buddy, I got 2 things for you. They're right here. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Anyway, I love it. I absolutely love it when James Gunn goes on these debunking sprees, especially when he debunks some shit by Jeff Snyder, because fuck Jeff Snyder. Jeff Snyder is a piece of shit. He just wants your clicks. He just wants you to view him. He just wants you to go, hey, look at me. Look at me. I know what's happening. No, you don't, Jeff. Sit down, shut up, go the fuck away. You fucking idiot. You know what? This is me to Jeff Snyder right now.
You lying sleaze. You want to rethink that answer?
That's right, bitch. That's right. However, I bet you anything, this is what Jeff Snyder thought as soon as his answer got debunked. As soon as his scoop got debunked, this was probably him.
God damn it!
You probably shouldn't laugh anymore.
I just get such a giggle anytime Jeff Snyder is proven wrong. I don't know why I do. I can't really say for certain why it's just so funny to me, but it just is. It's just so funny to watch that disheveled rat just get swatted. It's like the kid reaching for candy before Christmas dinner is over, and it's just like, no, knock it off. You're fucking stop that shit right fucking now. No, Jeff! There is not a Joker series happening! You're wrong! James Gunn said so. Anyway, let's see. Braden says, my idea for the second Batman spinoff is a Gordon show or Harvey Dent show, or maybe a Gordon and Harvey show. Okay, I can see where you're going with that, but let me just pose you this. Catwoman. I could see a Catwoman series happening. More so after part 2 than part 1. Wamba, looking forward to the Penguin finale this weekend. Fuck, me too, dude! Me fucking too. You want to know why? Because that show is top tier fucking television. That is appointment viewing television right there. The Penguin is fucking awesome. I love the Penguin. I do. That show is fucking amazing. Oh my god. It is so funny. I love that fucking show so much. Even made a clip. I made a really evil clip is what I did. Oh man. If I share it here, I might get hit with a copyright, so I'm not going to do that. But it is on, I believe it's on my Instagram. I hope it's on my Instagram. Let me just double check that real quick. I'm pretty sure I posted it on my Instagram. I'm pretty effing sure I did. Yes, I did. It is the most recent reel on my Instagram page. So if you go to Unfiltered on Instagram, just go ahead and check out that reel I made. It's about 30 seconds long. It's the Penguin setting the Maronis on fire, and it's to the Blue Oyster Cult. It's really funny. I promise you'll get a good laugh out of it. I swear. But just wait until Daredevil Born Again. Right? Oh man. Holy shit. That was dope. That was super effing cool. That shit right there was super dope. I think I broke that trailer down that they did last Friday or last Thursday night, Friday morning, whenever they did it. I broke it down on the last episode. So anyone curious can go check out last week's Friday Phil and just be like, oh yeah, we got all the cool shit here. But yeah, Daredevil Born Again is going to be the fucking sauce. Matter of fact, here's what I think about Daredevil Born Again.
This is fucking awesome.
That's what I think about Daredevil Born Again. That shit looks fucking awesome. I can't wait for that shit. Seriously. I seriously can't fucking wait for Daredevil Born Again. Definitely. Anyway. Excuse me. All right. Staying in the Marvel realm. According to Ryan Reynolds, Marvel execs are obsessed with Gambit, i.e. Channing Tatum's Gambit. So, this was a Deadline article. A lot of Deadline stuff this week. That's certainly something, isn't it? All right. Ryan Reynolds says Marvel execs are obsessed with Channing Tatum's Gambit. Here's the quote right here. Honestly, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors in the bookkeeping sessions at Marvel, but I do know that they're obsessed with him in that role. He said on the Entertainment Weekly's Awardist podcast. It's kind of like the same situation I went through. Once you show that it works well, that's really what it needs. Sometimes they just need to see it in action. In 2014, the test footage of Reynolds' performance as Deadpool, aka Wade Wilson, the fans' reaction pushed 20th Century Fox to greenlight the movie. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, Ryan Reynolds added, and Channing is so singular in how he plays the character, but he's also so beautiful physically, the way he moves and the way he can pick up steps. Apparently, Tatum was meant to play the character in X-Men Last Stand. The character didn't make it into the film. Due to a scheduling conflict for Tatum, Taylor Kitsch played Gambit in X-Men Origins Wolverine, which also featured Ryan Reynolds' debut as Deadpool, although it was a different version of the character. For the past decade, Tatum has been attached to a potential solo outing, which had bounced around multiple directors. Tatum's surprise cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine also featured the return of Chris Evans' Human Torch, Wesley Snipes as Blade, and Jennifer Gardner as Elektra, as well as Daphne Keane as X-23. In July, Tatum raved that Reynolds fought for me and Gambit. I will owe him probably forever because I'm not sure how I could ever do something that would be equal to what that has meant to me. I love you, buddy. Well, how fucking heartwarming is that? Marvel executives are just raving about Channing Tatum's Gambit. What does that mean, right? I'm sure any conspiracy theorist who is in the movie realm can be like, Oh, that means he's definitely in the X-Men movie. That's a very easy conclusion to come to. I can give you that. It's a very, very easy conclusion to come to. But, if you want to do Gambit again in the MCU, and you don't want to go down the road of doing through Deadpool and Wolverine again, well, not me, what could you do to have Gambit be different but still awesome in his next outing in the MCU? Well, fellas, let me tell you. I think you add a Rogue. That's what I think. I think you cast someone as Rogue for, say, Avengers Secret Wars. I don't know who. I mean, you could get Anna Paquin again, but I don't know that they will. But yeah, I feel like at the very least, this is gonna happen sooner rather than later. We are for sure gonna see Gambit played by Channing Tatum again in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that is going to be a thing going forward. Definitely unlike Blade with Mahershala Ali, who's only had the luxury of voicing the character one time, possibly two, if you watch the What If portion of the Marvel teaser that they dropped last week. Because it sounds like, at least I heard anyway, can't confirm this 100%, but I heard that Blade, the Moon Knight Blade or whatever, is in fact Mahershala Ali. But that's just something I heard. I can't say that with certainty. I cannot confirm that 100%. It's just something I heard. It's something I heard from someone I trust. So I'll be on the lookout. What If season 3 comes out next month? So we'll know if it's Mahershala Ali or not. Let's see. Mwamba says, just bring the actors back for Secret Wars and recast all the X-Men after Secret Wars. I feel like that's like kind of an inevitable thing, right? Like, I feel like getting them all back for one big final hoorah for Secret Wars and then kind of recasting majority of the people afterwards is maybe a safe bet, honestly, because what is Marvel going to do after Secret Wars? I feel like that's a question that's looming closer and closer the closer we get to Secret Wars. Like, what will they focus on? A lot of people are theorizing that it's going to be the X-Men. The X-Men are going to be the main focus of the Marvel Cinematic Universe following Avengers Secret Wars, which I wouldn't complain. I for sure would not fucking complain. I love the X-Men. I think the X-Men are phenomenal. I think they have some very untapped potential. Regardless of how you feel about the Fox films, I feel like you could easily incorporate the Marvel Cinematic Universe and inject it with a side of the X-Men and have that be some new stepping stones forward into whatever the fuck phase they do after the multiverse saga comes to an end in 2027. Although I'm not even sure it'll end in 2027 because things have changed drastically. They're not shooting Doomsday and Secret Wars back to back. So I kind of wonder if Avengers Secret Wars will make its 2027 release date. But hey, things change. Things always happen. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see what happens. Braden says, I know that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are going to be in Secret Wars, and I think they're going to be in Doomsday as a post-credit scene. They keep getting asked about Secret Wars specifically. Nobody has asked them about Doomsday, and I think that is intentional. I think they are for sure going to be in Secret Wars, but I feel like Doomsday is kind of a less bank. Like, I don't feel like anyone's writing that check that they're going to be in Doomsday. I don't. I think the confirmed characters you can guarantee are going to be in Doomsday are the Fantastic Four. Obviously, Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom. Probably Spider-Man, because fucking Variety and Deadline and Hollywood Reporter, they all ran the idea that, Tom Holland is doing his movie, like he's shooting his movie next year, and they all said, well, he's likely gonna be in Doomsday too. So look, I said it here, I've said it multiple times. I'm gonna say it again. I would not at all be surprised if Spider-Man 4 takes place immediately after the events of Avengers Doomsday. I would not be fucking shocked if that movie takes place on Battleworld. And apparently, I don't know how true this is, because the rumor mill is always fucking wild when it comes to Marvel. Anything's possible. Anything can fucking happen. But allegedly, allegedly, the fourth Spider-Man film is called Brand New Day. As with a lot of the other prior Spider-Man titles in the MCU, there's a double meaning going on behind them. If this is the case, it is number one, named after the Dan Slott story. Number two, if it takes place after Doomsday and it is set on Battleworld, that would in theory indicate a brand new day. And also, Brand New Day would in a sense also come after the fact of like, nobody knows Peter Parker is fucking Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe anymore. So, I don't know. If it is the case, cool. If not, fuck it, whatever. BFD. I'm not tripping. I'll know the title when Sony and Marvel want me to know the title. Okay? Okay. What's up, my boo? How you doing? Good to see you, Ronan. They are to be focusing on Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four and the X-Men after Secret Wars. I fucking hope so. Because, man, their whole plan just fucking went down the drain for Phase 4 and 5. Because nobody anticipated Chadwick Boseman passing away. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody. Captain Marvel and the Marvels movie just fucking dive bombing at the box office. Nobody saw that coming either. A lot of people thought she was going to kind of be a pivotal character in these next couple phases, and she's just not. She's just not. Like, she showed up in Miss Marvel at the very end, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. But like outside of that, and she was in Shang-Chi. Okay, she was in Shang-Chi, but even then, like, right? Like, and then Jonathan Majors just had to go and fucking do what he did and completely derail his whole fucking career, which in turn tanked the whole Kang Dynasty saga going on. It's like, what the fuck was Marvel supposed to do, right? I don't care whose idea it was to bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. Whoever came up with that idea, you deserve a fucking pay raise. You deserve all the credit because good on you. That was the best pivot swerve you could have done. And I'm even on record when I was on the 4Nerd saying that was a shitty idea. But the shitty idea was that if they just pivot to Doctor Doom, the caveat of having Robert Downey Jr. play Doctor Doom, on the other hand, that is where the gears start turning of like, oh, this can actually be something fucking interesting. Had they just cast any other regular Joe Schmo to play fucking Doctor Doom, I'd have been like, whatever. But the fact that it's Robert Downey Jr., big difference. Big difference. But bringing it back to this, Ryan Reynolds saying Marvel execs are obsessed with Gambit. If by some fucking miracle they make his solo movie happen, more fucking power to them. I mean, I could easily see like a Gambit movie being made for under $150 million. And honest to God truth, Marvel Studios kind of needs to go back to doing that. They need to really re-adjudicate their success and reassess these budgets for these movies and reassess them by character. Because hot fuck, Ant-Man Quantumania cost almost $400 million. A fucking Ant-Man movie cost $400 million. I love Marvel Studios. I have nothing but love for the majority of what Marvel Studios does. I think they swing big when they need to. Sometimes they don't need to swing big and they do, and that's when they kind of fuck the pooch a little bit, and it sucks because there's no rhyme or reason why Ant-Man Quantumania needed to be like almost $400 million. That's fucking absurd. Straight up. Like, that is ridiculous. Even with the $50 million tax credit from the UK company who fucking helped make the movie, doesn't matter. Your movie doesn't need to be fucking $400 million to be good. And that movie's just sloppy. It was a sloppy fucking movie, and it showed. Like, the only decent thing about it was Kang the Conqueror. And then what happened? Well, Jonathan Majors fucked that up too. I digress. I just think that when it comes to Gambit, when it comes to Channing Tatum, Kevin Feige is a fucking master at revitalizing popular ideas, okay? He brought back Andrew Garfield. He brought back Tobey Maguire. He brought back Hugh fucking Jackman. And that was also Ryan Reynolds. Credit where credit is due. That was a combination of the two. But clearly, Kevin Feige and Disney just dumped a whole fucking fuck ton of money in front of Hugh Jackman and said, hey, you want to put the suit on one more time? And he was like, I'll put it on 2 more times if you give me a role in Secret Wars. But Channing Tatum as Gambit, come on, Marvel, give him that due. And I even say this as someone like, I've seen Deadpool and Wolverine 5 times now. That has grown on me. Initially, that was one of my qualms of the movie, was Channing Tatum as Gambit. At first, I was like, this doesn't work. But over time and after rewatching it, I was like, okay, it works. I see it. I see what works about it. It's not so much the fucking accent, because I think clowning the accent was actually all part of the charm there. But yeah, I love it. I like Channing Tatum as Gambit. He looks like he fucking stepped off the page. Is he a little like bulked for the role? Absolutely. But that's not a bad thing, right? It's never a bad thing. He looks like a fucking Jim Lee drawing. He looks like Jim Lee's Gambit just stepped off the fucking page, walked onto a movie set. That's what I think. And if they do more with him, they damn well better. They need to. More Gambit in the MCU. You heard it from me. You heard it from Ryan Reynolds. They need to, and apparently they're obsessing over him, so they're probably trying to find a fucking project to put him in. I doubt it'll happen, but if he was in Thunderbolts, I'd lose my shit. I'd lose my shit if Gambit showed up in Thunderbolts, but I don't think it'll happen. I hate how fanboys try to compare RDJ, Legal Troubles, to Jonathan Majors. Okay, first of all, Robert Downey Jr. was not part of the MCU when his legal troubles happened. I agree. I think fanboys making the comparative bullshit, they're doing a lot of mental gymnastics whilst doing so. And also, the whole thing with his kid and that bit of cocaine that happened right after Iron Man 3, you ain't heard shit about it since. Clearly his boy's on the straight and narrow. Nothing came from it. So comparing the two just feels really irrelevant. And on top of that, vastly different cases. Because Jonathan Majors' case was a case of domestic violence. Robert Downey Jr.'s was not. It was drug abuse and alcohol abuse. It was a lot of stuff pertaining to that. And on top of that, Jonathan Majors, like, this was in the middle of the Marvel machine trying to readjust after Endgame. And he was their big bad. And then what does he do? He completely fucks it up. Getting that, and you know what? Props to Marvel Studios. The minute that guilty fucking that guilty verdict came, Marvel was like, "Yeah, no, you're done. Get the fuck out. Get your shit. You're done. We're going in a different direction now. Goodbye." I am surprised seeing Wesley Snipes in Deadpool and Wolverine after what he said about Marvel Studios on social media. Honestly, I'm shocked he came back to the role. Period. I am. Because it sounds like he didn't really have much fun doing that. Honestly, it sounds like nobody had a lot of fun making that third movie. It just felt like a very tense environment where no one wanted to be there. No one really wanted to make the fucking movie, but it was just kind of one of those obligatory third movie things. I don't know. But you know what? He came back and he fucking killed it. Like, I really like the fact that they brought him back as Blade. And his whole, only ever been one Blade, only ever gonna be one Blade. Like, fuck, dude. And Ryan Reynolds is even like, yeah, give him a fucking old man Blade story. Give him an old man Blade movie. Like, people want to see that. And fuck it, dude. I'd be lying if I said I would not be there day one, because I would. I'd be there day one for an old man Blade movie, for fucking sure. You know? Like, I would absolutely fucking be there day one. You know what I am going to be there day one for? I'm for sure going to be... Okay, we're kind of moving away from the Marvel stuff now, but I will be there day one for Christopher Nolan's next film, which has gotten some additional casting for it. In the form of Zendaya and Anne Hathaway, they join Christopher Nolan's next joint, right? No, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. Hold on. Oh, god damn you. Why the fuck? Why can't technology work today? There we go. Here we go. All right. So, Anne Hathaway and Zendaya to star in Christopher Nolan's next film. Exclusive! Nolan isn't done adding some serious star power to his next film at Universal. Sources tell Deadline that Anne Hathaway and Zendaya are set to star in the next event film. They would join previously announced cast members Matt Damon and Tom Holland. The film will have an IMAX release on July 17th, 2026. The date falls in line with a past number of Nolan films that have had similar release dates in the past. The film is expected to start shooting in early 2025, but sources note that the log lines or descriptions of the film that have been published to date are wrong, and details are being kept under wraps. Top-tier talent always runs an opportunity to join a Nolan film. This would mark Zendaya's first pick with the filmmaker and third for Anne Hathaway, who appeared in The Dark Knight Rises as well as Interstellar. Hathaway has had a busy 2024 that included the thriller Mother's Instinct alongside Jessica Chastain and Amazon pick The Idea of You. Next up, she is set to star in Warner Brothers' Flowervale Station. Zendaya started the year with Dune Part 2, which grossed more than $700 million at the worldwide box office. She followed up that with her tennis drama Challengers at MGM Studios. So the interesting thing here is you've got two female actresses coming back, working with some respectable talent they've worked with in the past. Obviously, Zendaya is dating Tom Holland. They are a thing. They are a couple. They are the power couple of Hollywood at the moment. They are one of the power couples in Hollywood at the moment. So them teaming up for a Christopher Nolan movie, this is just going to be a lovely little addition to their resumes. That's all fine and dandy. I'm curious to see how they play off each other in a Nolan film. That's going to be very interesting. And then, of course, Anne Hathaway famously played Selena Kyle in The Dark Knight Rises, as well as, what was her character in Interstellar? I love Interstellar, but I don't remember any of the characters' names. I just remember the actors. She acted alongside Matt Damon and, of course, Matthew McConaughey. She was like the scientist lady and part of the she was one of the leads. We'll put it that way. She was one of the leads, and it sounds like these four probably are the leads of the film. It sounds like Tom Holland and Matt Damon are for sure like the lead and co-lead, and the other two are probably the supporting leads, if I had to guess, but I don't fucking know. The interesting bit there is the log line and the information descriptions about the film that have come out thus far have been wrong, which doesn't surprise me at all. When Christopher Nolan gets to gear up and shoot the film, that is probably when we're going to find out what kind of movie he's making, because I think it was on good authority that he was doing Oppenheimer before, it was, they outright said, Nolan outright said, yeah, I'm doing a movie about Oppenheimer next. He hasn't said what his next film is after Oppenheimer. So I don't know. I love both actresses. I think they're great. I have no qualms with either one of them. I think they're both fantastic in what they do. And like I said, in Zendaya's case specifically, this is just going to give her a big boon in terms of her resume, in terms of her Hollywood status. She'll have been in a Christopher Nolan film, a Denis Villeneuve film, and also the Spider-Man trilogy, and probably, the next trilogy, if they get around to making a trilogy of Spider-Man movies, which I'm sure they probably will, because Spider-Man is a $1 billion fucking character at the box office. But yeah, having these two there, 2 thumbs up from this guy, for show. You know what else guy got a thumbs up for? This, if it happens. That's Anna Faris and Regina Hall on potentially returning to the Scary Movie franchise. Now, this was interesting. This was a little interesting, and a little not surprising, but a little interesting in that both Regina Hall and Anna Faris were asked about returning to the franchise. So I'll just go here. This is in a Nerdist article. It says, recently, actress Regina Hall commented on her potential return of the Scary Movie world, noting, quote, "I'm just very excited to know that the Wayans, who actually started the project out of their idea, are back on the board at the helm again. I'm excited for them. We'll see if Brenda is in this new world. I'm thrilled at the possibility that the band could get back together again. That would be fun." Meanwhile, Anna Faris noted her 2 conditions to return, and that if Hall returned, she would probably be in too, saying, "I would love to work with Regina again. I just love her so much. We would make each other giggle all day long. Regina Hall would be my answer. And money, but mostly all Regina." So, there you have it. In the event that they get asked to come back, i.e. they being Regina Hall and Anna Faris, I'd love it. I think the first 2 Scary Movie movies are the best in the franchise, bar none, because 3, 4, and 5 just didn't sit well with me at all, even though the third one has some funny bits of 8 Mile and other spoof, what is it, Attack on Mars, or or When Mars, is it When Mars, no, it's not When Mars Attacks, it's damn it, what the fuck did they spoof? See, I don't even really like. I know they spoof Signs too, but yeah, like I'm a fan of those first two films. Like I love Scary Movie, and I really love Scary Movie 2. I think Scary Movie 2 is like one of the funniest fucking parody movies ever made of all time. Straight up. Braden says, I was surprised that we did not see any of the original Fox X-Men, though thought we would see them in the movie, but I didn't really need any of them to show up. Oh, yeah, when it came to Deadpool and Wolverine, I already got the movie I wanted. We got Batman's love interest and Spider-Man's love interest. That's right. They were both in the same movie. How dope is that, right? It's funny, we might get another Barbenheimer situation. How so? What Barbenheimer situation are you referring to? I haven't really looked at future dates and what could be or may not be another Barbenheimer situation, but yeah, if Anna Faris and Regina Hall came back to a sixth Scary Movie, and if it's a reboot, you know, if they play their characters, cool. If they play like different characters, cool. I just really want to see them back working with the Wayans brothers. I feel like that'd be kind of a missed opportunity. Like, don't pull a Star Wars and have your main trilogy characters not on the same frame ever again, because that was a massive miss in my opinion. But seriously, like if you could find a way to work in Anna Faris and Regina Hall as oh fuck, what was Anna Faris's character's name? Because Regina Hall's character was it just said it right. Brenda. It was Brenda and Cindy. There we go. Brenda and Cindy. Brenda and Cindy. If you could find a way to bring back Brenda and Cindy, cool. I'm here for it. I love both those characters. I think they're awesome. If not, missed opportunity. But again, it's a reboot. Anything can happen. If they spoof reboots, though, that would be fucking hilarious. If they spoofed reboots. Time will tell, though. All that matters is the Wayans brothers are doing another fucking Scary Movie, and it's a reboot. Cool. Speaking of another movie and another franchise, this may be a little preconceived. This may be jumping the gun a little bit. And this is also the last thing on the show notes for the night. That is Simon Kinberg has inked a deal with Lucasfilm and will write and produce the next trilogy. Right? How fucking wild is that? Right? All right. This one is from the Hollywood Reporter. You all know how much I love the Hollywood Reporter. I will always, always, always utilize this source when it comes to anything I do for my show, because I love the Hollywood Reporter. All right, here we go. Star Wars. Simon Kinberg to write, produce new trilogy for Lucasfilm. He would spearhead the launching of a new saga in the beloved galaxy far, far away. Simon Kinberg is heading into hyperspace, signing an expansive deal to write and produce a new Star Wars feature trilogy. Kinberg would spearhead the launching of a new saga in beloved galaxy far, far away, and will write scripts for what Lucasfilm hopes would chart a brand new path forward for the sci-fi space opera universe. Lucasfilm topper Kathleen Kennedy will also produce the new trilogy. The new story is not meant to be a continuation of the Skywalker saga, the name of the overall arc of the popular and pop culture dominating Star Wars movies known as Episodes 1 through 9. The intent here is to have a brand new characters and a new story and not have it be a continuation, sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. Although that does not mean that some characters could not or would not pop up. Kinberg already has strong Star Wars ties. He co-created the animated series with Star Wars Rebels with Dave Filoni as well as Carrie Beck. The Emmy-nominated ran for 4 seasons from 2014 to 2018. He also helped out on the relaunch of Star Wars after Disney bought Lucasfilm, acting as a consultant on 2015's The Force Awakens. Kinberg is established presence in the genre of space. He had a hand in the Fox X-Men movies, being one of the producers of Logan and the first 2 Deadpool movies. His name is on the 3rd Deadpool movie. That's also a fact, among many other creative duties. And he is about to go into production on Edgar Wright's take on Stephen King's take, The Running Man, for Paramount. The writer-producer is one of the busiest creatives in town, and he is helping develop the rival Star Trek franchise for Paramount, a deal that he stepped into this past spring. He was due to take on an active producer role on the franchise's film side. Sources say he will maintain these duties, keeping one hand on a lightsaber and the other on a phaser. Lucasfilm tried to chart different paths forward. Kennedy previously signed on filmmaker Rian Johnson to develop a trilogy, as well as the Game of Thrones creator David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. None of these came close to fruition, with company facing occasional scrutiny over the years. Lucasfilm next launches TV series Skeleton Crew, which debuts on Disney Plus December 3rd. Now, okay. A lot to unpack here, right? A lot to unpack. So, Simon Kinberg gets a lot of gruff and a lot of shit for those X-Men movies. And honestly, it's never a one-man show. It's never just one cook in the kitchen. Like those films, the X-Men movies specifically, like they floundered for a number of different reasons. It takes a lot for a movie to fail. It's very easy for a movie to fail too. But I think as a writer and just as an overall nerd to nerd, and even seeing some of the stuff he's done on Star Trek, I've seen all of Rebels. I loved Rebels. I think that's a great show. I feel like I knew he was a consultant on The Force Awakens. I feel like that is something I definitely knew. And my opinion of him has changed drastically over the years. And we're talking about a guy who directed Dark Phoenix in the middle of a Fox-Disney merger and played ball with everyone, even though that movie, you could tell, was just chopped and edited and reshot to hell. You can tell. And he even was like, he took it on the chin. He was like, yo, anything with that movie, that's on me. That's my movie. I fucking own it. I made it. Everything that happened, any criticisms, they all fall on me. Major props. Because it takes a fucking director with balls to come out and own their shit. Straight up. And I'll be honest, when I was waiting in line at Hall H to get into the Star Trek panel, I'm just chilling. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday, and I'm just chilling in line waiting. A lot of Star Trek fans behind me, a lot of Star Trek fans in front of me, and who the fuck walks up? Fucking Simon Kinberg. He walks to the front of the line. I think he might have had his son with him. I don't know if it was a son or maybe a relative or another friend or something. I don't know. But he got his pass and walked to the end of the line. I came very close to taking my place out of line just to go back there and fucking talk to him. And honestly, I wish I did. Because I've seen what he's done on Star Trek. That dude, he's a good writer, okay? I know a lot of people have their reservations, and that's fine, okay? That's totally A-okay. If you're not jiving with the X-Men movies, fuck it. That's your problem. That's your prerogative. But we're talking about a guy who came in and salvaged Fan Four Stick from Josh Trank with Hutch Parker. If he's got an idea for a whole fucking trilogy, Kathleen Kennedy, let him deal with it. Let him do the thing. Because here's the big difference between Simon Kinberg, Rian Johnson, and D.B. Benioff and Weiss. Rian Johnson proved himself with the Last Jedi. That was met with polarizing success. Polarizing being the operative word there, right? Benioff and Weiss, they dropped the ball when it came to Game of Thrones. And the reoccurring theme is you're only as good as your last project. And well, I feel like that the dropping of the ball of Game of Thrones might have lost them Star Wars. That said, since technically speaking, Kinberg's last directorial project and written project was in fact Dark Phoenix. Let me look up what has Simon Kinberg worked on since Dark Phoenix. Like, if there's ever anyone I would like to just pick their brain on anything in this realm of entertainment, it's him. It's for sure Simon Kinberg. Okay, so since Dark Phoenix, he's worked on 355, A Haunting in Venice, Life, Lift, and The Killer's Game. That's the film side of stuff. He was a creative consultant on Star Wars The Force Awakens. He got a thanks credit on Rogue One. He was writer, executive producer, and creator of Star Wars Rebels, which is something I did mention earlier. Where's this fucking Star Trek stuff, though? Huh. I could have swore he was working on stuff for Star Trek though. Like if he's working on anything Star Trek, it probably hasn't been announced yet. That's my guess. Otherwise, it would have came up here in his television credits. Because as of right now, he's only got 2 projects post Dark Phoenix, and that's Invasion and Sugar. So, yeah, like I said, like a lot of the blame usually gets thrown at him for a lot of dumb shit. And I feel like he does not deserve it. But if there's anyone I would love to interview and pick their brain on in terms of just the entertainment industry as a whole, you know, working with Disney, working with Fox, juggling that whole production of Dark Phoenix, not trying to get in like the nitty gritty of it, but just curiosity more than anything about like, what was it like trying to manage that entire production with also having delayed reshoot after delayed reshoot with, you know, every character that was supposed to be there but couldn't because of other commitments. Like that film to me is a genuine curiosity the more I watch it. And I've even been on record saying I actually prefer Dark Phoenix to X-Men Apocalypse, which sacrilege apparently, fuck, whatever. But what can I say? I kind of dig Dark Phoenix more than I like fucking Apocalypse. Because you know what? I'll say this. Say what you will about X-Men Apocalypse. It had one action sequence in it. Whatever. They're in these really makeshift, goofy silver suits. And then all of 5, not even 5 minutes at the end of the movie, they're in their fucking badass looking X-Men costumes. At least in Dark Phoenix, they're actually in some fucking X-Men costumes. And they look like they're from the fucking comic book. God damn it. But I digress. Kinberg did the best he could with Dark Phoenix. And I was honestly more impressed with that than Apocalypse, by and far, straight up. But you could probably attribute X-Men Apocalypse's faults and failures to the lack of Bryan Singer's care of the project, but I digress. Now, when it comes to Star Wars, though, I like Rebels. Rebels is one of my favorite projects in all of Star Wars canon. I love Rebels. I love that it is, and here's why Rebels was great. Rebels was great because it wasn't a Skywalker-centric story. It finally made you give a fuck about other characters that were not last named Skywalker or Kenobi. You had Kanan Jarrus, you had Ezra Bridger, you had Hera, you had the whole crew of the Ghost, the Spectre, whatever the fuck that ship's called. Dude, if anyone can make a new trilogy, if anyone has the rapport of making a Star Wars project and not have it be tied to anything Skywalker, Simon Kinberg is a great start to that. Straight up. So if he's got an idea for a trilogy, if he's going to be the one to fucking do it, fuck, let him. I will watch it. I will support that shit. That dude knows Star Wars. So fuck yeah, good for him. Straight the fuck up. Simon Kinberg, you got me, dude. I'm fucking there with you, man. Like if you coming into Star Wars, you do a trilogy, I'm there for every movie. I don't give a fuck, bro. I got you. But yeah, man, I'm here for it. I will never say no to more Star Wars. Unlike a lot of those other older fucking moronic fans who, you know, cry woke and Disney agenda, blah, 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 wah, wah. Not my Star Wars. I, as a young adult, a young child, I can remember the days when there was just 6 movies and a TV show. That's all I remember. And then 2012 happened. Oh, Disney bought Lucasfilm. Oh, guess what? We're getting a whole new trilogy. Oh, guess what? We're getting more Star Wars. Awesome. Great. I ain't gonna fucking complain. Hell, we got a brand new TV show coming out at the end of the next month, beginning of next month. Star Wars Skeleton Crew. It's through the eyes of the children in the Star Wars universe. Never been done before. More Star Wars is not a bad thing. Because guess what, guys and girls and people? Guess what? Star Wars is not like the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the Marvel IP, or it's also not like the DC Studios and DC IP, in that you don't have to keep regurgitating and telling the same fucking story over and over and over and over again. It's called a galaxy far, far away for a fucking reason. There are multiple characters in a giant fucking universe and a giant galaxy. You can go in this direction, that direction, any which way fucking direction. Doesn't matter. Star Wars will be Star Wars inherently because Star Wars is fucking awesome. And when you have a guy like Simon Kinberg, who grew up watching this shit and consulted and helped create one of the most successful side projects of Star Wars, yes, let him make a fucking trilogy. Let him pen that shit. Let him write it. Let him produce it. Because I can guarantee you, whatever he does with Star Wars cannot be any worse than what fucking Taika Waititi's doing. It cannot be any worse than what Benioff and Weiss were probably going to do. It sure as hell can't be any worse. Okay, caveat there, because the last one's not really fair. Because I think, personally, Rian Johnson should have been allowed to make a Star Wars movie, just not what he did with Episode 8. Because I feel like having a brand new, fresh filmmaker come in and make Episode 8 and do his whole thing and do what he did with it, that was polarizing. And it was polarizing for a lot of different reasons. Even though I like the movie, there are things in it that I really do enjoy. I've been on record saying the best thing about The Last Jedi is The Last Jedi, i.e. Luke Skywalker. The best thing about that movie is Luke fucking Skywalker. And Mark Hamill was not a fan of like the script he was handed, and he fundamentally disagreed with everything Rian Johnson had his character do, but he still showed up to work every day, and he fucking knocked it out of the park. He portrayed Luke Skywalker in the way that Luke would act in the event of the way things transpired. So, I don't know. Bringing it back to Kinberg, if there's anyone more qualified for a job in terms of writing more Star Wars, it's Simon Kinberg. There's one other thing I forgot because I'm looking at a picture of it right now. But the very, very last thing, I'll just touch on this real quick because it's completely unrelated, but it is television related in a way. Just real quick, another casting announcement. That is, Macaulay Culkin has joined the cast of Fallout Season 2 in a reoccurring role. Macaulay Culkin? What the fuck? You're kidding. You got to be fucking kidding me. So much like Simon Kinberg is hopping on board for a, science fiction franchise, Macaulay Culkin has joined the Season 2 cast of Fallout Prime, breakout series from Kilter Films' recurring role. Produced by Jonathan Nolan, Lisa Joy, Geneva Robertson Dworet, and Graham Wagner. All that shit. No one is commenting, but Culkin is said to be playing a crazy genius type of character. Huh. Well, how about that? You know what that screams to me? Oh, it says here, Culkin is already in business with Amazon. He recently voiced a character on Prime Video's animated series, The Second Best Hospital in the Galaxy. He had a major role in FX's American Horror Story double feature, did an arc on HBO's The Righteous Gemstones. He is ripped by Brookside Artist Management, Franklin, Weinrib, Rudell, and Vassallo. Okay. Well, if he's playing a crazy genius type, that to me just feels like they are playing an older Kevin McAllister in Fallout, which I'm fine with. You got Macaulay Culkin playing some fucking lunatic, crazy scientist genius type in fucking Fallout. That's what that show is notorious for. All these goofy, quirky fucking characters living in a post-apocalyptic realm. So if he's essentially like an older kind of Kevin McAllister type of quirky genius, cool. More power to it. Oh, hey, look, my boy, my friend, Mr. Jedi Mike. What's up, buddy? How you doing? You're coming in at the tail end of the stream, though. I'm about to wrap shit up. That was the last thing I was talking about. Was Macaulay Culkin joining Fallout Season 2, which I'm all for it. I love Fallout. I thought Fallout was incredible. Great first season. You got Macaulay Culkin coming in for Season 2. Fuck yeah. All right. Well, folks, we are at the 1 hour. Well, we're after a little past the 1 hour mark, where I usually like to wrap this shit up. But you all know where to find me. You can find me on the socials, just at Unfiltered, and that is Blue Sky, Vero, Threads, Instagram. Just search my name, right down there, Unfiltered. Check out my reviews on Multiverse of Color. I've been writing some reviews for Superman and Lois. I will likely be writing a review for Gladiator 2 when that movie comes out, for show. We need to collab. I agree, bro. Anytime you want to come on the show, let me know. I'll shoot you the time and link if you can make it. We'll just go back and forth on the shit we got to talk about. I'll share my notes with you. But yeah, you can catch the replay on my channel. Just again, Unfiltered, YouTube/Unfiltered. You can find me there. You can find the videos I've been doing. Been doing some Pokemon Coliseum replays, even though I've had to pause that because my GameCube My poor GameCube here. It died. 20 years of play. It finally died. The disc reader no longer reads discs. But I'm getting a new one. It should be here Monday or Tuesday, hopefully. And when it does, that Pokemon Coliseum replay will continue. I also do some video reviews. I do some reactions on my YouTube channel. Greatly appreciate it. But as also, like I said, check out my reviews on Multiverse of Color. Greatly appreciate that. And you can maybe catch me on the vodka stream anytime I'm ever invited, which I do greatly appreciate my buddy and pal, Mr. Dave Pena, aka the Film Junkie. Go check out his channel where he does a whole bunch of different shit. He's got a Monday show, a Wednesday show, the vodka stream, as well as the DC Fanimated stream with our good pal Scott McClellan of the DC Squadcast. But that is where I am signing off for the day, for the week. But yeah, also do me that one big favor, that one thing, the thing. You know the thing I'm about to play. You all know exactly what I'm about to play. This thing. Do the thing! Do the thing! Hit that like and subscribe button. Greatly appreciate it. On that note, last thing, as always, stay safe. Have a great weekend. And of course, last but not least, fuck Donald Trump.